Hey everybody, we have some time today, so I'm gonna get another game or two in on the Amonkhet draft we started yesterday. We've got a black-blue cycling deck here that I butchered in my play yesterday. I'm gonna try to do a little better today and get out of your way so you can see what we're up to here. We've got Archfiend. We got this, I think, pack 3. This was a big payoff that we got later in the draft, and really nice, though. Really great reward for being in the cycling deck. So is this Drakehaven, which is where we pack one, pick one to actually get this cycling deck going. So I got a couple of Unquenchable Thirsts, some Deserts for that. We're going to run it back here and try to do better than I did yesterday, which was, well, I punted my way to what looked like it was going to be a comeback, and then a system error ended the game in a draw, and then I just punted my way to a loss in the second match. So let's find a real win here. I know this deck can do it. This deck seems pretty good to me. We just need a better pilot. Yeah, let's keep this. We can play a Desert tapped, cycle the Drake, and then have something to get back with Gravedigger. Gotta watch out, though. We could get run over here. This is a very aggro format. It's not like we have a ton of early defense, but we are on the play. I'm going to go ahead and cycle the Scarab Feast as well. Might find a 2-drop to play. No, we find another Scarab Feast. Really don't want to do all this. We want to get our cycling payoffs before we do all these cycle ones, but I think I'm going to even wait now because we do have a solid play coming up. I don't see the need to cycle here. We do want cycling ability so that we can get our payoffs. I'm going to go ahead and Gravedigger, though, and get back the flyer to play against this aerial guide. I ain't saying she's a Gravedigger. No attacks. So what's our plan here? I mean, right now, as I say, Shimmer Scale gives us attacks. Well, now our plan is to recast Shimmer Scale. And hopefully not die in the process. That is a lot of flying. We found one of our bombs, and if we had a third black source, I could make the argument to wait until, or like basically Archfiend and cycle now. Since we don't have 3 black, though, I think we just well, yeah, we could wait so that we could cycle this next turn. But then we don't have the flyer, and I actually just want the flyer. So what I'm going to do here is risk it and play the Archfiend and say, do you have an answer? Jinx would final reward something. We're at 14. We have enough time to try and buy a turn here. I'm going to make them answer the Archfiend. If they can answer the Archfiend, then we have stuff to figure out next turn. But if they don't, I mean, we get to take kill their Aven and reduce these to 1-power creatures. That is so strong. I should have attacked with Gravedigger first, though, because now they know we can just kill the Aven, so I'm not going to offer the Gravedigger. If I had attacked first, I don't think they would have blocked with the Aven, though. So no blocks. Again, gonna say do your worst, and we're hinging our hopes on Archfiend being as good as it looks. And the Wasp is nice, too, because we can add blockers for, like, the Aerial Guide. But definitely going to start with a simple cycling of this. And maybe even just want to cycle the other Drake. Gosh. We could play the Drake, but it just kills the Aerial Guide to cycle it. So I'm just going to cycle the Drake. We get another flyer anyway. And a Drake Haven? Sure. But actually for this turn, I still like... Well, maybe we go Vizier even. Just the biggest thing, the most power we've got. You play Oracle. I'm going to go with Vizier. It's the biggest power. They can't block it. Biggest clock. I mean, they can block it. They just can't trade with it, is what I'm saying. As long as we can keep cycling, I don't mind the loss of the Archfiend as an attacker so much. Although, kind of just want to final reward the Talk Crop now as their last card and just continue to work the creature advantage we have. Attack, play the Eternal or the Wasp. Wasp has evasion. Eternal gets damage in no matter what, but I'm going to go with the flyer. Sorry, my info is all wrong here. We can look at this. We are on 01. Yeah, big reload, but I don't think it's going to be enough unless they have a sweeper. I'm going to go Drake Haven and pass, and then just trying to figure. I don't know what sweepers. There's a lot of sweepers in this set. I'm going to hold. Now I'm going to go ahead and cycle to create a Drake. And kills their Avenger. And I think just locks up the win. Yeah. Alright, our bombs were bomby. That's how that works. Go in again there. We did, although I kind of messed up in a way that gives us some information. I put the correct username. So like I did going optimal with Ryan number whatever. So I put the correct username in. Then I put an email address associated with a different account. So I had to put my account name and my email address. and I put the email address for a different account, and they gave the reimbursement to that different account. So I think when you do ask for reimbursements, they look at the email, not the username. A little piece of info. I think with Eternal and double cycling, I think we just keep this. And since we need blue, I'm going to go ahead and cycle the first feast at least, and then we'll get into the Eternals. If you had something go wrong with your event, you report it via a link I will share just a second here. You let them know there. All right, well, we got our island, and could hold up Essence Scatter, and against zombies, you know, picking off some of these early zombies could be good, but I think we go for Kenra Eternal and threaten to block. Yeah, so we're getting drained, but at least the Servant is staying back. And here, I like Aerial Guide to max the mana. Unquenchable Thirst doesn't do anything yet. We don't have deserts. And so we'll just go Aerial Guide, and then next turn we have a lot of 2-spell options. We've been served. Interesting. They are happy to offer that trade. Are we happy to take it? We have another one. Yeah, I'll take it. I mean, I'm just trying to stabilize until we can leverage our long-term advantages. So let's do that. And then I like adding another Eternal here. This doesn't have flash, but we could cycle, and if we don't want to Essence Scatter, but probably just going to Essence Scatter something here. And I'm not blocking with the guide, so I'm going to attack. Whoop, a little laggy lag there. Those Who Serve has a good attack, but nothing else really does. I'm going to go ahead and offer on Eternal on Servant here. Okay, they're going to do that. That's fine. Getting aggro with their tapping. That only works every other turn. And we'll go ahead and counter that. Might even just tap down the Fan Bearer here, and then we get to keep the Eternal back on blocks against the Servant. Those Who Serve is still a problem in that case, but we can find an answer for that. I'd rather tap the Fan Bearer down than Those Who Serve, so I'm going to do that. Could cycle first, though. I've been clinging to finding something to trigger with this cycle effect. Maybe I should just start with the cycling of this, see if there's something else to do. Gravedigger, for example. Could get a Kenra Eternal back, but not yet. I think we just go Unquenchable Thirst and continue this awkward race. Could also keep both back and actually threaten to trade for Those Who Serve. They haven't shown tricks. They've only shown a willingness to remove our blockers to enable attacks that are good on the face of it. So they haven't demonstrated... They have not yet attacked in which the only explanation for the attack was bluff or trick, right? So it's possible they don't, and maybe probable they don't have tricks here, in which case I would trade an Aerial Guide for a Those Who Serve if they choose to attack here. Because we want to attrition this so that we can use our Gravedigger and our card draw to win a long game attrition battle. So I'm going to risk it. My read is that they are willing to make a 1-for-1 here, and we could get blown out. Let's find out. Hold your breath. But sitting here taking it turn after turn doesn't seem like a great plan to me either. So they did get a 2-for-1. That sucks, but we have 2-for-1s literally in hand. So I'm just trying to protect our life total, make them have it, and then come back with additional defense. Final reward. I'm going to use that now on the Servant. We can take another hit, but getting drained with zombies for the rest of the game is not good. So let's get that reward. Go earn your final reward, Servant, and we'll try to stabilize from here. I did it main phase because shields were down. I don't even know exactly what I was playing around, but in general, white has protective stuff, so I just did it with shields down. All right, now we get to grave dig and replay something. So that's cool. We could get the flyer if we were concerned about flying in the long term, but I think I just would rather get a second creature on board right now. So I'm going to take one of our Eternals and replay it. We do have flying. We have plenty of flying defense in the long game. We just need to resolve this illumination. All right, again with the attack. This time, no chance of a trick, so we're going to take this offer for sure. Obstructionist. With 6 mana, I actually like going ahead and casting our card draw spell main and looking for a land. If we find land, great. If we don't, well, we maybe find something to play, maybe even a quenching thirst for the bat. But if we find land, we have the Obstructionist. So I'm going to risk it. And there we got it. And now can flash it in. We'll see what they want to do here. Probably just trade Obstructionist for Blighted Bat, though. Trade our rare for the common, but you do what you must. Another Servant. Is that a fresh one, or did they get that one back? I didn't notice. Oh, no. Fresh one. Okay. Well, I suppose I could play the Vizier and then cycle and... yeah, let's do that. I'm going to play this anyway. Might as well leave up a Indestructible on it. And Gravedigger, we'll send that in. Let's just send this in. I'm trying to encourage attacks the other way because of the indestructibility. So that's partly what this is about. Trying to encourage Oppo to send the Servant. Maybe being willing to trade it. And then we haha them with the cycling. Or we haha don't have anything to do about that whatsoever. Solid draw. Both of these, actually. All right. This is Surveil. Remember, Ryan, this is Surveil 3 with a weird interface. Let's see. We definitely want this in the yard. And we want to keep the Cycler for the Archfiend itself. So just the one swamp to the yard will keep the other two. Look at me knowing what the card says and how it works. Oh, yeah. Oh, really? Stream info. My title. Oh, down at the bottom. Yeah, thanks. I'll fix that in a second. Let's do this. I thought you were talking about my stream title. You just mean this part. Thanks. Do it. We are on AKR Premiere. Yeah, I'll attack. We're at 6, they're at 20, but gotta get him to 0 somehow. Oh, come on now. 3 servants is too many. Now we can't win. Well, we might be able to, but they get to play a zombie next turn off the Sacred Cat, bring us to 1. And next we cycle. If we cycle into cycle, we get to kill these both, which is what we really want. So. Got to keep all of our blockers as well, or we just lose to any one creature getting through. But as grim as it can look here, we are...
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
Obviously, they have another zombie. We're just dead right now, if they drew a zombie. But if not, we have a chance. Cycle into cycle, we kill... Even that doesn't win them the game. All right, not much to do but hope that they don't have any more zombies or that we cycle into cycle. Come on, cycler. Right on top. Oh, ouch. All right, well, we are close to death. And we're gonna hold everything. Well, let's see. If we're dead to so many things, I'm wondering if we even bother playing around a top deck, or whether it's worth the 4 points of damage. Probably not. I mean, we need to fade that. We need to find a cycler like right away, and then we kind of clean up, or we don't and we're going to lose, right? So I'm going to hold and hope they brick, but we're on Oppo brick plan. It's never comfortable when your plan is that Oppo misses, you know, that Oppo doesn't find the thing to finish you off, but it's our plan. Hey, now. Could even wait and cycle that if they put like a zombie on the stack, but that's fancy play. Let's just get this done. Now we got to start getting them dead and deciding how much to leave back on D. I like 2 things back on D so that we don't lose to a single piece of removal, but beyond that, I think we can send. And we send our biggest stuff. And, you know, technically I have a 3rd blocker here in the Wasp, but I really don't want to block with it. And also, neither of these can get through anyway. They had a plain block on either of these, so there was no good attacks there anyway. More land, not going to do it, but hopefully Oppo bricking a little bit too. And we still have no good attacks without leaving only 1 ground attacks, without leaving only 1 back. So I'm just going to keep sending 6 in the air. It's a 3-turn clock, so that's good too. You don't want to send the Wasp as well? You're worried about the hasty dude? I suppose. How many of those are we supposed to play around? Were you supposed to play around not losing to Blighted Bat? It really adds to the clock. They get an extra turn out of it. if they have a haste bat, then they're not going to have removal. We could do this. Because if we're leaving this back because they might draw a haste bat, then they wouldn't be drawing removal. So let's do this. It does have lifelink, but it's still a net positive on damage, right? It's 1 extra damage, but that's not nothing. I don't think it's high risk, unless this is some good card that's already baiting us into something, which I don't think so. So I'm going to do it. Unburden this is likely a blank. I'm not going to cast this for discard. I'm going to do the cycle. I'm going to do that main phase. Oh, wait. No. Glad that needed a target, or else I would have completely failed. And have we cycled a desert? Yes, we have. So Quenchable Thirst taps it down, and we're gonna leave. We don't even need the Thirst right now. Let's keep leaving the Wasp back in case of that. We'll leave two creatures back, but don't need to use it yet. We're gonna send this, and this. Was I supposed to go for lethal? Wasn't lethal though, right? Oh no, because we get one more here. Yeah. It would have been short, right? I thought it was just short, but we'll see. It was exact? Okay. Probably safe to go for lethal there. I didn't think they were on anything but sandbagging lands or whatever. Probably should have calculated it out rather than just doing my board control defaults. Take the win, though. Nice start. Archfiend is a bomb. I'm gonna hold up Scatter. I'm just gonna get our Eternal going though, because then we'll have Scatter plus Cycle on 3. Well, instead we're gonna have Sentinels on 3. Maybe they have a scatter for our Sentinels. We'll see. I wouldn't care too much if they got the Sentinels. Yeah, no biggie. We get a Vizier next. It's kind of a late pick anyway, whatever. Potentially more counter magic, but gonna keep throwing our spells at them and see what they've got. Sure enough. Again, though, not too disappointed. We have something that's producing damage every turn. And we get to add to it now. And then next turn we get Essence Scatter plus Cycle. Oh. Actually got to get to my main phase here. I guess we don't. This is just like pure... All they got is counter spells here. Well, Well, we got a pretty good one ourselves now. Let's see if we can resolve that one through all this counter magic. Still need to deal with the sharpshooters, though. Getting a bunch of cycling after the Fiend, though, it goes a long way to solving those problems. We'll see if that happens. Would love to get something juicy with this scatter and then draw a Scarab, the single black cycler. That'd be the perfect... No, actually, it wouldn't work because we don't have enough black anyway. So now that I've asked for something that doesn't work, the magic gods will no doubt deliver. Yeah, I mean, they get the Embalm, so this is actually not fantastic. But I also am not going to let this happen. All right, we really need a cycler off the top, because if we can shrink the sharpshooters to a 3/3, then the Archfiend ostensibly has a block. Well, can't block here. Hey, just what the doctor ordered. Needed that cycling. We're going to do it right now. Looking for other things to do. Heck, looking for another cycler would be great. No such luck there. I am going to play the land and dump the hand, though. I guess do I need to play the land? What do we loot ever? We're never looting. But we do have card draw, so I'm going to play the land. Yeah, this is us finishing out yesterday's draft. We know this. We know their hand. So I actually like sending the Archfiend and then dropping the Eternal and trying to control the ground. We would have to do a double block on the sharpshooters, but it's still a 1-for-1. I don't think they'll attack on the ground unless they draw something that really enables it. So I'm going to go ahead and send the Archfiend. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. And maybe that's enough to need to stay back. Drake Haven. All right. Now we gotta hold back, I think. Two-one Tron, we got narrowly edged out. Our Oppo made a desperation ritual, village rites, of desperation village rites at the very end of the game and found everything they needed to defend and win. It was sick, actually. It was sick. It was a very unlikely stabilization comeback from Oppo that had me quite tilted, honestly. All right, we're clinging to it here. Clinging. Clinging. All right. I like this. I'm going to hold counter target activated or triggered ability you don't control. This is not activated or triggered, right? It's just an... Yeah, so this doesn't stop exert. Oh, it does? So it stops exert? Because it says when, right? I know magic rules. When you do, that's what means it's a trigger, right? When. Little magic aside, I struggle with rules closing in on 30 years later here, everybody. But whenever, when, and if are your three words that lead you to know that something has a triggered ability. So, That being said, I'm going to say no attacks. And nice thing, they're playing blue. This doesn't count. This is not counterable. None of the stuff that's synergistic about this situation can be countered by blue, unless they have their own obstructionist, I should say. Cycling causes the pause, yeah. Well, I'm going to cycle this now and actually try to block it with a Drake token instead of the Archfiend. Yeah, we could say no block, although I don't know if I like taking 2. And we could just offer the trade. Actually, how about we just kill it? I think we're in okay shape. I think we've stabilized. I think. All right, Oppo thinks as well. Archfiend has been carrying basically every game we've casted in. And it hasn't even... We haven't been all that impressive outside of it. It's like been the heart of the deck, really. No, I have heard there are land spell DFCs, but I don't know the mechanical nature of them, whether it's play the land or play the spells, or play the land and flip to a spell, or play the spell and it becomes a land. I don't know. We're at time. I'm going to give it one more before I sign off here. Yes, the exertion itself is not counterable, right? You can't counter the fact that it exerted, but you can counter the result of the exertion, right? Is that it? Magic. So hard. Rules-wise. Man, give us one swamp here, and we actually like this hand pretty good with Wasp into Vizier into cycling and stuff. As it is, can we even keep? I mean, you get run over. We're getting higher up in the win. You know, we're now... What? Actually, I should adjust the record. We're like 3-1 now. I think this hand is pretty scary against aggro, and Oppo is going first, so I think we need to mulligan. We do have a blue cycle one, but where does that get us? I mean, it gets us a little bit closer to our nearest swamp, but I don't know if that's good enough to keep this hand. So I'm going to mulligan. Yeah, this looks better. We'll keep this. And now we got a tough call, because Drakehaven with 2 cyclers is action. Gravedigger's a 2-for-1. Are we greedy enough to do this? Do we just count on finding a 3rd land by 3 and then cycling after that? I think so. I think we got to be a little greedy here. Gravedigger is the worst spell. If we had pitched a spell, it would definitely have been the Gravedigger. But I think taking the chance and find 3 draws to find any land for a turn 3 Haven that leads into cycling seems fine. And already not punished. Earthshaker. Good card. dominated Standard for a while, along with its god buddy. So no 2 against some pretty aggro, although this is looks like, I guess it's looks like red-blue spells. Still not going to do anything here, though. We're going to hope that Drakehaven making a bunch of drakes is going to get us out of this. Today we learned True thinks they are more fun at parties than they actually are. We could get countered here, and maybe I should have played around that, but I'm kind of in, gotta make him, yeah, I don't know what we do besides try to cast our spell there. Like, I mean, that was just our plan. Like, I don't know what our plan is if we don't do that. It just falls apart. We can go Illumination. At least they're not, like, piling on the pressure. We could cycle Drake, but I think we should just cast Illumination. And may as well do it on their turn since they have open mana anyway. We could do it on their upkeep, I suppose. That's like maximum sneaky, maximum optimal. You know, basically what we're trying here is, hey, if they have a counter spell, let's make them counter it on their upkeep. But let's do it on their upkeep so that they don't draw a counter spell. If they don't have one, we don't want to let them draw one. But if they have one, we want them to spend it on their turn. So that's the nature of the upkeep play. Yeah, there's also a suggestion we could wait and make them fear our counter magic, which is true. Those are the two sides of it. But I'm going to do it my way and cast this now. Thirst is nice for the Kenra because it has this Eternalize that if it dies, it gets to come back as a 4/4. So thirst quenching that will be good. We can even Thirst and Sentinels, so that's cool. I like that. Let's do that. Doing this to play around further sensors. Make sure we don't get force spiked. They can force spike this if they want.
What do you mean, Flash Gordon approach? Open fire!
We're gonna just try and actually cast a Drake here. They keep showing us tons of mana. Maybe this gets countered too, but okay. I mean, you just gotta keep casting our spells. Get Gravedigger it back. Gonna go ahead and cycle this Scarab Feast now as well. Although, man, if we get an Archfiend, we sure would like to have that around. Oh, that's funny, it kills the Kenra, which we don't want. Archfiend does. Yeah, I don't know about cycling in a cycling payoff deck. I guess we're behind enough that we should do it. Kenra. Well, I'm going to Gravedigger something. Let's get the flyer, and then we have Eternal and Scarab Feast cycle again. Prowess suggests they have some instants. We're at 12. We can take it. Norbert wants to hold the feast. Again, I'm thinking about that. I mean, the our bomb, the Archfiend that's waiting for us somewhere in the deck, gets a lot worse without cycling. There's not any damage doublers, are there? What's going on here? We're going to lose to Fling? Huh. Doesn't seem terrible. That's a lot of resources spent to not kill us. I'm glad Oppo did that. I think that's fine for us. We might need a cycle, though. I'm going to cycle. I want to get deeper into keeping ourselves alive here. And there we go. I like just dropping a River Winder here. And with them, let's see. Look at the top card. Put it on the battlefield as a creature. If you don't, put it in your hand. I mean, that's... Maybe they get a free creature out of this. But I think we just have to trust our Hexproofer. Yeah, we got to start getting damage in now. Five mana, draw a card. Not going to destroy us. At least not yet. Now we don't have great ground attacks because I want to keep the River Winder back. I'm going to play Shimmer Scale and start attacking in the air. I'm going to play Shimmer Scale and Wasp and start attacking through the air. Hello, Margaret.
Hello, Ryan. Real name.
How's Oppo? They got us to 4, but we've stabilized. Oppo hopefully is dead.
Is this a royal we?
No, it's the me and chat we.
Oh, because I love listening to you talk royal we.
No, there's no royal we. It's us. I'm not alone.
I know.
Why not attack with 5/5? I just love having a hexproof 5/5 on the ground saying this Nimble Blade Kenra is not getting in for anything relevant. Maybe that's too conservative, but with these back to block, but I just like having the thick 5/5. But with the Vizier with Indestructible, it does give us some... I still want 2 blockers. I don't want Bounce to kill us. But we can start attacking with the River Winder now. Now, what they're doing is they want to recast their Kenra here as a 4/4, make something not block, but we're going to have enough blockers that that we can still stay alive here. Good question. It's not Sure Strike, it's the thing we saw. Brute Strength is your sure strike of this set, I think. Doesn't have natural trample, but yeah, another sure strike on 4, 5, 6, 7. Like if they found a mountain and were able to bring back the Earthshaker and and Trample It, they could win. Yeah, Haj and I working out their lines there. They had some, with the right mana, they could have won with Trample plus the Kenra, but we had the goods. Well, yesterday we didn't... I was a little embarrassed with my results with this deck. Today's going a little better. Playing a little better and drawing a little better. I think I'm going to pause that now, though. I got a lot to do today, and we brought some respectability to this here deck. I think what I'll do is hold, though, and we can maybe finish tomorrow and get a three-parter going on this cycling deck. It's pretty fun. I'd not really had a cycling deck in the format yet, so it's fun to have a couple of nice rare payoffs, and seeing those rare payoffs do a little work for us today. So I'm going to hop to Soapbox, though, and thank YouTube for hanging out for this section of it. I would look for part 3 coming up, and thank you for sticking around for this one. Bye, YouTube.